Hello, welcome back. In this series of videos, we will be looking at how you can improve your donation tracking process. You may be prompted to use our proprietary materials. These are exclusive to Ka-Ching members and can be downloaded from our learning portal. If you have not registered or caught our introduction video, it might be good to pause and watch that first. The link is provided in the description. Now if you are ready, let's proceed. Through this series, we aim to equip you and your organization with the knowledge and skills to understand your existing donation tracking process, identify challenges your organization faces, streamline it, and finally, create your to-be process. At the end of it, you would have produced a final streamlined process map, ready to be implemented. Today, we will be focusing on understanding your existing process, and putting it down on paper. It is important to ensure that the complete process with all steps have been captured. To help you with the documentation, you will be using Worksheet 1 as its template. As you will be expected to input or edit content in the template, we recommend that you have it printed, along with some spare paper for more writing space. Worksheet 1 depicts a typical donation tracking process of a social service organization, from the start to the end. This may look different from that of yours, but fret not. You can make edits along the way, or cancel out steps that are not relevant. What we are aiming is to create a visual representation of your process, which will form the basis for the subsequent videos. Let's do this step by step. First, get familiar with the different color codes and understand what they represent. Yellow boxes represent donation-related tasks done by your organization. These would form the measuring indicators for your post-Ka-Ching review. Each of this covers an action, the person performing the action, and the average time taken. Where there would be a need for data entry, it would be denoted with a green circle. Questions which you will need to consider are prefaced with the red question mark. Let us begin with the first step. Typically, a donation process starts when a donor donates through one of the various donation channels that your organization has. They come in a variety of forms: cash or check, via giving.sg, a bank transfer, or it could be a gyro standing order. You will extract reports from these platforms, and check against your bank statements to confirm the receipts. Now, take some time to consider the volume of transactions for each donation method. In a typical day, week or month, how many receipts do your organization receive? In the above example, indicated in blue, the organization receives about 5 cash and 20 check donations a month, and around 85 transactions via online donation platforms. Now, you need to write down an approximate figure for yours. Put down the monthly average figure. After receiving and verifying the donation, you will issue an official receipt to the donors. If you do not have this step, feel free to strike it out. Otherwise, take some time to think about the following. You may want to consult the staff who handles this step on a regular basis, so as to ensure you can have the most accurate input. What is being done at this stage? Does your organization include other steps? If yes, write it on the worksheet. Who is responsible for this task? How long does this take? Consider it on a per entry basis. As different timings would be taken for the different channels, document these down separately. Fill in the corresponding information per the above. In this example, the step is undertaken by an admin executive, and he takes around 5 minutes to handle a cash or check receipt, and about 3 minutes for online transactions. Next, you have to consider if this is a data entry point. Data entry points are defined as points where a person has to manually key in donor information into a system or spreadsheet. Here, as this organization keys in the donor details into the system that generates the receipt, it is a data entry point. Place a marking at the top right corner to indicate this. Moving on. Perhaps your organization's next step, after the issuance of receipt, is to record the donor information into a database system. For social service organizations, it is essential to capture donors' information, and create a database whom you can reach out for donation drives or charity events. Once again, consider what is being done at this stage. Who undertakes this task? How long it takes to enter the information. Do note the timing is on a per record basis. Note down in the corresponding spaces. Ask yourself, would this be a data entry point? If you key in, or cut and paste the information from another source into your database, it would be 1. Indicate number 2 if this is the second data entry point for your organization. Should you only upload or sync the information from another source, it would not count as 1. You should now be getting the hang of documenting your process. We will move on to the 4th step, recording transactions into your accounting system. This is generally undertaken by a personnel from the accounts team, and constitute a series of sub-steps. If you are unsure, it is best to check with the accounts staff who is responsible. It begins by inputting the donation into your organization's accounting system, after which, the staff will tally the figures with the bank statements to confirm that the donation has indeed been received. At the end of it, a report is being generated for internal review. This could be done on a monthly or quarterly basis. You once again need to note down the person responsible for this task, and think about the average time taken for each of these sub-steps. Do pay particular attention that for the last sub-step, generating reports, has to be a per month figure. Recalculate if you do it on a quarterly basis. Your organization may have a different process for this phase, so do edit the content or sequence. But remember to always input the action, staff responsible, and average time taken, as these will help ease your productivity tracking at the later stages. Again, if your staff have to key in the transaction information to your accounting system manually, this would then become another data entry point. Put down a circle with the number as an indicator. If your organization is IPC registered, you would need to generate tax-deductible or non-tax-deductible receipts. The typical process here involves keying the donation details into the IPC link, and churning out the respective receipts. At the end of the year, you will generate your list of TDR for submission to IRAs. Now, once again, input the person in charge and the average time taken per record. Consider again. Is this a data entry point? If yes, please put your marker. We have reached the last step of your donation tracking process. Preparing appreciation letters to be sent to your donors. Social service organizations often send out thank you letters to express their gratitude to the donors. This may not be your organization's practice. If so, you strike out these steps on your worksheet and skip this part of the video. For those who do, you will likewise need to fill the person in charge of this step, as well as the time taken to prepare on a per-letter basis. This may well be the most manual part of the process, as your personnel will input the name of the donors manually, and thereafter, prepare the letters for mailing. If this is how your organization does it, put an indicator at the top right corner. And you have now worked out your organization's as-is process. Take some time to look through, and see if there are any areas you will like to refine. It is very important to have each step filled, especially on the time taken and transaction count portion, as this will form your basis for tracking productivity improvements at the end of this Ka-Ching initiative. If you have any doubts which you will need clarification on, please contact us via live chat on our website, or access our FAQ.